I suffer badly with depression and anxiety and all that.
Now you bipolar as well,
so you know what mood swings like. You can be very high one minute and very low the next day, up and down all day.
To get up again is very, very hard when you've been low.
And anyone who suffers with mental health problems, it is a silent killer. Kills more people every year than most other things. Of men under 35, it's the biggest killer on earth. I'd wake up and I think, why did I wake up this morning? This is coming from a man who had everything: money, fame, glory, titles, a wife, a family, kids, everything. But I felt as if I had nothing. I felt there was an empty, gaping hole that was just filled with gloom and doom, and it just was one bad thing happened to me after another. Then I started thinking about death and thinking about wanting to die and killing myself and how I'd do it. I often thought about that, but then I got back on track to win the world title. And after this second bout of deep depression, I was at a point of I really didn't want to live anymore, and I really didn't care about anything or anybody, and even the things that I hold so close to me and the things that I adhere to in my life, they didn't mean anything anymore. I think the mental health problems are bigger than all of it, because it doesn't care who you are. It doesn't matter if you're a king or a kid or anything. It doesn't care.
In the bank, whatever.
I've been unwell all my life. Like, I didn't know what it was, like you said, but I remember having like anxious feelings of being left behind. I didn't know why I was feeling this way as a little kid, and all the way growing up as a young teenager, young adult. But I actually didn't get any diagnosis or anything until I got to like 29 years old. And the thing about mental health is, what's so special and different is that if a man's got a disease or a bad problem, or he's handicapped or disabled, you can see it.
Yes.
But I can walk down the street, nobody can see in my mind. They don't know what I'm doing. I could be on the verge of suicide and you couldn't tell, because you can't see in someone's mind.
When you fell into that depression, how dark was it?
When you're waking up and you don't want to live anymore, you know, it's hard for me to say sat here, because I'm not thinking in that mindset anymore. But there was a number of years where I did not want to live on a daily basis. I said to God, why have you let me wake up this morning? Why didn't I die in my sleep? And I had no real reason. There wasn't one thing that made this happen. This is a continuous journey for years and years and years of depression and anxiety. I look at people striving to do things and I think, you know what? Why? Why are you doing this? If I didn't want to do it, a man on top of the world with everything and so much more to gain, and I was thinking, I don't know how these people are doing day-to-day things and striving for nothing. I was sitting here, £400, a drug addict, an alcoholic. By the way, I'd never took a drug in my life until I got to 27.
Really?
Never.
Nothing.
Not smoked weed, not nothing.
And what were the drugs? What were the drugs of choice once you won the title?
Cocaine was the usual one, and that was it really. Cocaine and alcohol.
When you were down, did you think you'd get to a place like this?
I didn't think I'd go anywhere apart from a padded room. That's how down I was. So to be here now a couple of years later after that, it's not only a miracle but a blessing from God as well. I do promise anybody who's listening, anybody who's suffering, that it will get better, and there is going to be sunshine days once again. Because if I can do it, anybody can do it. I'm no one special. I was a fat pig at nearly 28 stone, drinking and taking drugs on a daily basis. Changed my life around. I suffered with depression, up to the point of suicide, anxiety attacks, everything. You couldn't get any lower than I was. And here I am living proof that anyone can do it, because I'm back today telling the story and inspiring millions around the world. I was on the way to a bridge doing 160 miles an hour in a high performance car. And I was 100% certain this was the day that I was going to end it all. I didn't care about nothing. I just wanted to die so bad. I give up on life. And just as I was heading towards that bridge at 190 in this Ferrari, it had crushed like a Coke can, by the way, if I'd have hit it. I heard a voice say, no, don't do this, Tyson. Think about your kids. Think about your family and your little boys and girls growing up with no father. And everyone saying your dad was a weak man. He left yous. He took the easy way out because he couldn't do anything about it. And before I turned into the bridge, I pulled on the motorway and I was shaking. I could feel myself shaking, and I pulled over and I was all nervous and didn't know what to do, and I was frightened and I was so afraid. And I thought, that day, I'll never, ever, ever try or think about taking my own life ever again. I use the training as a medicine. If I don't train for 2 or 3 days, I feel totally depressed.
So now, when you say train, is it just boxing training or just exercise?
Exercising, whether it's jogging, whether it's riding a bike, whether it's going for a walk, anything. You need to stimulate the mind. And I think training is a perfect way to do it. Working out, exercising. Whether you can do a lot or a little, you must do something. I come in here, I work out in the morning, come in the evening and work out again, and then I go to sleep, and I just do one day at a time. That's how I live my life. I don't plan weeks, months and years in advance. I just do today, get through today, then wake up tomorrow, hopefully, and do the same again.
And there is no pinpoint accuracy on what causes this problem. Because if we knew, we just wouldn't do that thing that's caused it and move on. You can't tell someone to pull themselves together and get up and do it, because that just puts you in a deeper hole. Some people will say, oh, well, it's attention seeking or whatever. But unless you've experienced what I'm saying, it's sort of impossible to understand where I've been or where I've come from. And it just went from bad to worse. Question I usually get is, how did you defeat mental health? And I stand up and smile and I say, look, mental health, you never can beat it, ever. There's no victory over mental health. I liken mental health to a famous song that the Eagles wrote, Hotel California, and there's a famous verse in there. And it says, you can check out any time you want, but you can never leave.
You can never leave, right.
And that is what mental health is about. You can check out any time you want. You can get better again, but it will never leave you. I just wanted to show the world that if mental health could bring somebody as big as me and as strong as me and, you know, the stereotype heavyweight champion of the world to my knees, then it could bring anybody to the knees. And I thought to myself, if I can show people who's living in darkness that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I believe that if enough people talk about it, then it's going to raise more and more and more awareness. And sooner or later, this crisis will have to be addressed properly. I believe that God tested me. God gave me the world, but I rebelled against it. It didn't mean nothing to me. I didn't want it when I had it. So I thought, right, I'll give you a little bit of pain here, taste this, wallop. And I believe that's what mental health is. I believe it could be a test, it could not be. I know it affects so many people in so many different ways.
Sure.
And it's a silent killer. It's almost like carbon monoxide poisoning. You can't smell it, you can't taste it, you can't feel it, but you die. So many people take their lives on a daily basis through mental health problems. And others look at them and say he was a weak person or she was a weak person. We're not weak, you just need help.
What's the best thing you have in your life?
Best thing I have in my life is love.
From whom?
From my family, from my wife, my kids. I don't think you can get anything better than love. If you can really be loved and really love people, there is no better than that. And what I intend to do is keep helping people on a regular basis, whoever I can. And I don't know where this path's going to lead, but one thing I do know is I'm going to follow it to the end.